So just for a quick little disclaimer, obviously we know all body types are brilliant. We're not saying everyone should be slim. We're not trying to fat shame anyone in any sense, if that is an actual word.
We're just sharing our tips that help us to stay in shape, because we find it's easier for us to be happy.
Well, it's a question that we're often asked: how do you stay slim, or what are your tips for kind of trying to lose weight or things like this? So that's our punt at it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.
Bye.
Yo dudes!
Welcome to our video of how to stay slim, featuring David
And Stephen! Woohoo!
So here's our 6 points on how to stay slim. Point number 1, try to eat more whole foods. Whole foods are high in fiber. 8 out of 10 Irish people, and the equivalent in the States is 97% of American population, do not get enough fiber. Fiber is known as plant cellulose. You'll only find it in fruit, veg, beans, legumes, and whole grains. So most people aren't eating enough veg. Fiber is vitally important for weight loss. The average person on a Western diet consumes about, let's just say 2,000 calories, just for an example, and gets about 13 to 14 grams of fiber per day. Your stomach has stretch and density receptors, which measure stretch, how full your stomach is, and density, how many calories are in your food. Typical person that consumes 2,000 calories per day gets about 14 grams of fiber. If I say, Dave, tomorrow will you eat an apple, head of broccoli, and a handful of beans, as well as what you normally eat?
Love to.
I come back at the end of the day, and Dave, by eating that extra head of broccoli, handful of beans, and an apple, Dave doubled his fiber intake. Because he's doubled his fiber intake, the stress receptors in his stomach meant he was fuller for longer, and David only consumed 1,800 calories.
Oh my goodness!
Really important to losing weight, so try to eat more whole foods.
Beautiful.
Point number 1.
Great one, loved it. I really enjoyed that, Steve.
Thanks.
Okay, point number 2, metabolism. What is your metabolism, Steve? Okay, so I'm going to answer that. Okay. Metabolism is pretty much your engine. It's how quick you burn calories at. And there's a common belief that your metabolism is, you know, as you get older, your metabolism slows, or, oh, poor me, I have a slow metabolism. Oh, you're so lucky, your metabolism's so quick. But did you know, leading science has now conclusively proved that your metabolism is a direct function of lean muscle mass. Wow!
The more lean muscle you have, the quicker your metabolism.
Beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself, Steve. So yeah, the more lean muscle mass you, the quicker metabolism. So it's almost like a self-fulfilling cycle, that the more you exercise, the more muscle mass you get, the quicker metabolisms, which means the quicker you burn calories. They did a study, they took, I think it was 20 people from a nursing home. These were older people between the ages of 70 and 90. And these were people that were typically living quite a sedentary lifestyle. They got them to do 3 times a week, do simple exercise using cans of beans and slight light weight bearing activities. As a result, they improved their lean muscle mass by about 50%, and also their metabolism improved. So therefore, the speed at which they burn calories, and a lot easier to stay fit and skinny.
So point number 2 is metabolism. Okay,
well, just to bring that back to ourselves.
Try to get more lean muscle. For example, we were part of a UCD twin study. They measured our body fat. Dave was 6%, the lowest they'd ever seen, and I was 7%. So it's a lot easier, and as a result, my resting calorie intake is 2,000 calories. So for me to just lie in bed and do nothing, I have to consume about 2,000 calories. Typically a normal person on a normal day. So I consume about 4,000 calories a day because we have so much lean muscle.
So how does this relate to me, who wants to stay?
Try to develop more lean muscle. The more lean muscle you have, the quicker metabolism, the easier to stay in shape.
Beautiful, good summary. Loved it.
Okay,
give me a part 1. Okay, point number 3.
Point number 3, the pleasure trap. So the 2 factors that influence how much pleasure you get from the food are: 1, more calories in your food, the more pleasure. Second one is hunger. Hunger we seldom experience in modern day society. Food is entertainment, food is joy, food is escapism. So to try to occasionally experience hunger, because when you're hungry, you're much more likely to get pleasure from simple foods, such as whole foods, because naturally we're predisposed to eat higher calorie foods that are lower in fiber. So to really try to occasionally experience hunger, then simple things such as like an avocado and wholemeal bread with tomato suddenly delivers a lot more satiation. So try to occasionally experience hunger, and by that I don't mean starve yourself, but by being hungry, simple foods are going to deliver more pleasure. By being hungry are going to deliver simple pleasure.
Yeah. Was that point 3 finished?
Was point 3 finished?
I really appreciate it. That was great. Okay, point number 4. It's going to be way better than Stevie's. Is eat with
the sun.
Eat with the sun. Yes. Okay, eat with the sun. So what does that mean? Okay, so that pretty much means, I'm going to answer it again. Sorry about that.
That's
eat with the sun. So they say.
They? Who's they?
Clever people. Cleverer people than me and you. They say that ideally you should eat your main meal when the sun is at its highest. So ideally, you know, old school, they used to eat their main meal at high noon, and that was the way things was done. And that expression of eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch like a pauper, and eat dinner like a peasant, there's great wisdom in that. Even in terms of sleep and your metabolism, they say ideally you shouldn't eat a decent heavy meal
2 to 3
hours before you go to bed. And ideally you'd eat your main meal in the middle of the day. So that would mean breakfast, eat a decent breakfast. That's obviously when you're, you know, typically your appetite and your hunger is at its most.
And there's studies showing that those who eat breakfast are much more likely or less likely to be obese. So try to eat breakfast, try to eat your main meal in the middle of the day, and try to finish eating 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed.
That was good. I enjoyed that summary. Thanks.
Great.
That was good. Thanks.
Point number 5, intermittent fasting. So this is something that has kind of become popular in recent times, and intermittent fasting can be cut up many simple ways. But a simple way to do it is to try to even look at it 8 and 16 or something like that, to try to...
What do you mean by 8 and 16?
So
and what's intermittent fasting mean?
Okay, intermittent fasting means the time when you are not eating. So to try to, that period between not eating, you increase it, and by increasing it you increase your lifespan, and
so
it's much more easy to stay in shape.
So would that mean, like, I usually just eat throughout the day, that I just, like, I start eating at 8 o'clock and maybe I just finish at 6? Is that like what you mean by intermittent fasting? Oh, good one.
Thanks,
now I get it.
Or even simply try to even start your day eating your brekkie at 10 a.m. and finishing at 4 if you wanted to really push it. So it's to define those parameters which suits you best. But instead of having breakfast at 6 a.m. and having dinner at 8 p.m, you know, that's over 14 hours, which means you're only having 10 hours.
Why would I ideally do that? What's the benefit of that?
The reason why you do that is that it's easier to stay in shape. There's lots of studies showing that you're going to live for longer and you're less likely to develop inflammation or ill health.
Also, your metabolism is increased, therefore your mitochondrial activity increases, and therefore
it's
your
easier
energy.
to have more lean muscle, yes, and more energy. Okay, last and final point is sleep.
Beautiful, couldn't have said it better.
Men who on average get 5 to 6 hours sleep per night have been found to have testosterone levels of those 10 years their senior.
So why do I want lots of testosterone?
Because testosterone is really helpful with keeping your muscle mass, which is a function of having a quicker metabolism. So to try to get ideally 7 to 8 hours sleep per night.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We shot a video on sleep. It's really good. It was quick, easy. It was our top tips for sleep from reading a few books.
When you're tired, you're much more likely to indulge, eat poor foods, overeat, rely on sugar and other things like that.
I can even use that example for ourselves over the last week. We've been kind of going gung-ho. We've been traveling lots. We've been, you know, we have been out of our routine, and therefore as a result we were much more likely to go, sure, I'll have another piece of chocolate, or have another
coffee, or
whatever. Our food choices weren't typically as healthy as they normally are when we're at home.
So that's a wrap, dudes. Hope this was of some help for you. May you be happy, healthy and slim.
Would love your comments below of what are your tips for staying slim? How do you stay slim? You know, this is our views on it, but obviously you have different opinions on it, so we genuinely love to know.
And last and final thing to say is we've a new book out, Recipes for Happiness. Thanks a mil for all those who pre-ordered it, but we'd really love your support. Link below to order. It's now currently the #1 bestseller in Ireland, and it was #8 in the UK, so it's actually an international bestseller, and we're super honoured that a vegan book is on the bestseller list. So thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, dudes. Bye.
There's another swan up there.